China has a rich variety of entertainment forms that have existed for centuries. Singing, dancing, and acrobatics were popular in the royal courts of the emperors. Since the Ming Dynasty, opera has been the favorite entertainment for all social classes. The Peking opera is the most familiar form outside of China, but there are several other regional schools. One is the Lu opera of Shandong.
It has been said that Chinese opera is the most popular performing art in the world, since it is the national drama of the world's most populated country. There are a number of schools of Chinese opera. In Shandong, Lu opera is the local form. Whatever the particular school of opera, they all have similar characteristics. The stylized use of makeup, costumes and sets, combined with music, dance and acrobatics to create a single dramatic form. For Westerners, it may all seem very strange, but the art of makeup is easily appreciated. As in all drama, makeup and costume are what creates the foundation on which the actor builds his character. The heavily painted faces in Lu opera play a similar role to that of masks in Greek drama. To Western audiences, Chinese opera is one of spectacle. In addition to makeup, costumes are critical ingredients to the end result. The use of sets and props are kept to a minimum. Therefore, the actor in many cases must create not only the character he or she is portraying, but also the setting in which the action takes place. Often, the stage is completely bare with the exception of a simple table or chair. The table may serve as a court or a mountain, and with a chair on top of it becomes a throne. Props generally consist of weapons, sometimes worn and sometimes incorporated into the action by acrobats, especially in plays about warfare. Plays are concerned with the whole range of human emotion, but there is an emphasis on life in the royal court with its palace intrigue, romance, struggles for power, and of course, battles. Despite the trend toward modern drama, most of the stories are several hundred years old. Though women are accepted into Chinese opera today, in earlier time, all of the women's roles were played by men. Even today, it is said that a Lu opera actress must exhibit a technique of femininity that was invented by a male mind and perfected by male performers. Lu opera dates back more than 200 years. Though it had its beginnings in Shandong, today Lu opera troupes can be found in many other provinces in China. The Shandong Lu opera troupe was formed in 1953 and is based in Jinan. There are now over 30 Lu opera troupes in Shandong, with professional companies also in Qingdao and Yantai. This Lu opera has the interesting title, Bring the Painted Dragon to Life by Painting in the Pupils of Its Eyes. Wang Yuanyuan plays the role of Si Niang. She is 26 and has been studying Lu opera for the past 13 years. Li Xiaojiang, also 26, is one of the newer members of the troupe, having been with them for the past 7 years. He plays the role of the emperor, Li Shiming. The scholar is a common role in Chinese opera. Here, the role of Ma Zhou is played by Dong Jialing, who has received an award for excellence in acting for his portrayals in Lu operas. The most popular character in Chinese and Lu opera is the clown. Here, Pei Yongguan, the clown, is played by Peng Yongguan, who has played the role of the clown for more than 30 years. The clown or comic is the only one allowed to use colloquial speech. He is also allowed to improvise and is usually an accomplished mimic and acrobat. One writer described his role as similar to that of the top banana in American vaudeville. Lu opera is one of the most exciting visual and oral experiences one can witness in China. Of the two, the visual impression is the most important and easiest for Westerners to appreciate. The oral is certainly an acquired taste. This age-old drama of tradition and of pattern is fixed in its form and style, and at the same time subject to the individual nuances of each performer.
Acrobatics have long held an important place in China's performing arts. Talented athletes in modern China have the opportunity to study at special schools that will train them for a career in this spectacular sport.
The day starts early for the students training to become acrobats here at the Jinan Acrobatics Troupe. Founded in 1958, the troupe has close to 100 members, including teachers, students, and professional acrobats. There are 14 students in the 9 to 11 age group, with 6 coaches devoted to teaching them the intricacies of what is one of China's oldest performing arts. Shandong has long been considered the home of acrobatics. Here in Jinan, you are never too young to start. Training is intensive, but leaves time for a well-rounded education. Morning sessions run hours. The afternoons are devoted to regular classwork with 2 hours set aside for cultural studies. The students then return in the evening for an additional 2-hour workout. Total commitment is the key to success. Long days and years of preparation for the inevitable gasp of astonishment followed by the applause from the audience. Most of the students are from Jinan. All are from the province. They live together in the student dormitory, but have a chance to visit their homes often. For the beginners, there are 5 arduous years of training before being allowed to select their specialty. The 2 specialties that Shandong is best known for are feet juggling and head balancing. Whatever the specialty, practice makes perfect, and there is plenty of time allocated for practice. Deng Baojing is 30 and began to practice acrobatics at the age of 9. She stopped her formal education after middle school to concentrate on acrobatics. She has traveled extensively, performing in 20 countries in Europe, Africa, and the United States. She has received the prestigious Gold Crown Award for her performance. She is married to her coach, Bi Chang Jin. They practice and research acrobatics together. From unearthed Han Dynasty tomb figures and stone sketches, it can be proven that acrobatic performances have been given for over 2,000 years. Acrobatics are also the most popular performing arts export of China. There is hardly a child or an adult in the United States or around the world who has not marveled at the skill, the versatility, and the showmanship of China's acrobatic troupes. Sun Jin is 26, and she is also married to her coach, Mang Zhao Shin. Her parents are farm workers in Shandong province. Once the routine has been perfected, the next element is adding the live crowd. The troupe goes on the road frequently, appearing whenever invited. Recent trips have taken them to local schools, festivals, and public gatherings. They have performed at city sports meets, the National Arts Festival, and for visiting foreign dignitaries. They usually are on the road for 20 days at a stretch, performing in China's major cities, and then returning home to continue their training. Juggler Liu Ling is typical of her fellow performers, being in her mid-20s and entering acrobatic school after graduation from middle school. In 1985, the Jinan Acrobatics Troupe joined with the Shandong Provincial Acrobatics Troupe for an international tour that included performances in Mongolia, Russia, Romania, Czechoslovakia, Germany, and Hungary. But when the sounds of applause die away, it's time to resume the daily workouts. Once someone starts the training program, it is usually a commitment for life. Most performers are in their 30s. Several of the women performers are married to their coaches, But the extensive training and travel make family life outside the world of acrobatics extremely difficult. Because of this, it is not generally an art that is passed on from generation to generation. So, almost all performers start from scratch, working their way to the top against difficult odds for their isolated moments of glory.
Wushu, the proper term for the martial arts, has 28 different types and is a major area of athletic training throughout China. The martial arts are typical of traditional Chinese beliefs because they emphasize a unity of body, mind, and spirit.
Training for the martial arts begins at an early age in China. Serious students generally start around the age of 8, and practitioners of the art may still be active at the age of 80. In fact, Wushu experts claim that unlike any other sport, the more advanced one is in years, the better his or her competitive edge. Like any other sport, training demands dedication and constant practice, generally under the watchful eyes of a Wushu master. Wushu is known as a type of physical defense, but it also includes a spiritual and moral discipline. Over the centuries, various schools have evolved, each having its own distinctive principles and styles of movement. Taiji, Tanglang, and Fanzi are the most famous of the 28 types of the martial arts. Historically, the martial arts in China were said to have originated in a time when warlords roamed through the country and attempted to disarm all but their own private armies. Without weapons, the local people turned to their fists, feet, and sticks to defend themselves. The generally used term Kung Fu is much too broad by Chinese standards. In its correct and narrow use, it means expertise in either of the two major schools of martial arts, Shaolin Quan or Taiji Chuan. It is Shaolin Quan which has become known as Kung Fu or Wushu. Shaolin Quan originated at a temple in Henan province in north-central China in 519 AD. It was developed by a master Damo, a Buddhist monk from the state of Liang, who taught the priests of the temple the art of self-defense. From this early beginning came the Shaolin Quan school of martial arts. It is referred to as the outer or hard school in contrast to the inner or soft school of Taiji Chuan. The outer implies external physical strength and rigidity. The inner emphasizes the circulation of qi, or life force, and energy. As Wushu grew, two major styles developed, one basically in the north and the other in the south. The northerners, including those in Shandong, emphasized the use of legs and feet, while the southerners emphasized the fists. Despite the numerous schools of Wushu, the spirit of the sport is of the knight-errant of old, honorable and respectable, never unnecessarily violent or destructive of life.
This series is made possible by a major grant from
The people of Union Carbide, focused on technology leadership